Earlier this week, I closed a £3,500 deal with my AI automations agency, which is the equivalent of about $4,500. So in this video, I'm going to show you the live call. We're going to break it down together. I'm going to show you what I did good, what I did bad, show you how I positioned it, how the demo looked, how the questioning looked beforehand, and how I actually went about closing it as well. So if you want to book more clients and make more money, watch this till the very end because I'm breaking it down all the way. The sound wasn't working for a bit. I think I'd turn the mic on.
Got my coffee here though, so.
Yeah, no, I'm on my third one, so I'm awake. On about coffee.
Nice.
This is so cringy. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I hope it's going to help you. Yeah, look, I appreciate you joining, taking the time out to have a quick chat. I'll keep it. I know you burnt out from that last meeting, so it's going to be completely high level. I'm not going to. If you didn't know what high level means, it just means non-technical, really. It doesn't really sound like it would mean that. You'd think high level would be, let's get into the nitty-gritty, but it means the opposite. High level means, let's just talk about the foundations, what it does and how it works and the results you'll get. Not get into anything nitty-gritty. Get too technical. Just a quick one for me to sort of understand where the interest was. This is a good idea as well. If you want to get better at these types of calls, it is actually good to record yourself, watch it back. That's what I did when I first started. I haven't done it in a couple of years. And this has just reminded me about why I stopped doing it. It's tough, but it will help. But I have a tendency to ramble and say unnecessary words. So that's something I should work on, is cut out any unnecessary words like I just said there. Specifically what you're doing now, just a little deep dive into your business just to see if there is a gap there, just to see if we could even help. And then towards the end of the call, if we're seeing some sort of some gap and we feel like what we do could help you, then we talk about next. That's good. Okay, so the reason I'm saying all this, if we could even help, let's talk about possible next steps, is because this lead came from a cold email. I'm not going to get on a call and do a hard sale. This guy's he's got his guard up right now against me. It's like, this guy cold emailed. What's he going to say? What's he going to push down my throat? So right at the start, I'm completely disarming him, letting him get his guard down by saying, "This is what I'm going to do." I'm telling him the agenda. This is what we've got planned. I want to know exactly what it is you've been doing compared to maybe where you're wanting to be, just to see if there's a gap there. If it's not, that's fine. But if there is, I'll tell you how we could possibly help you. And right now, I'm just bringing him down. He's becoming more relaxed. He'll be thinking, okay, I'm not getting hard sold too. Let's just have a normal conversation. Steps. But I suppose just to start with, Johnny, what was it from that initial email that actually attracted your attention? Good first question. I asked this at the start of every single discovery call. What was it that attracted your attention, so I can understand exactly why they responded, and the rest of the conversation, the rest of the call will be determined by that question, by the answer that he gives anyway. Because let's say, for example, he says it was straight and short and to the point. You can go, okay, well, and you can just change the conversation to do with that. Whereas if he said, oh, well, you offered 3 leads, you've got a massive gap to build there. This guy's just on it because he wants 3 leads. So you really got to get your questioning right to understand where he is and maybe find out and uncover some potential pain points. And you've really got to play on those pain points to really build a gap. Really build a gap, so by the end of it he's not thinking 3 leads, he's thinking, shit, there's some results that I could get from this.
I would say it's timing.
Okay.
I've been looking for somebody to help me, so I'm talking to.
That's a lot. This is going to be the case with a lot of cold email. Remember, you could have the best coffee. You could have the best copy in the world, but realistically, a lot of the leads, 90% are going to come from just because timing. They've thought about this, they've had some tiny little thought about what it is you're emailing them about, so that's why they've decided to reply You're in their inbox at the right time, and that's why I think volume's quite important. Very important.
Any cold email has come in regarding cold email, I've been saying, yeah, sure. Show me the source. Show me what's going on.
Cool. How many meetings have you had so far? See, he was about to ramble, so I cut him off there, which is good. He was about to just start talking a load of rubbish that I didn't really... I shouldn't say rubbish. He was about to start speaking, and just, he could see I was listening, I was smiling, I was nodding, I was understanding what he was saying, so he's feeling a lot more comfortable as the seconds go on, and because of that, he's just... he's going to start rambling. So at some points you have to, I've talked about this before, just take control of the conversation. You've only got half an hour, sometimes you've only got 15 minutes, you've got to crack on and get your questions out, understand where it is they are now, so you can have time to show them a demo, pitch it properly, and then close it afterwards if it is a one call close, which again, this doesn't normally happen. Normally it's a 2 call, sometimes a 3 call close, but and we'll go more into this later down the line, and I'll show you why I decided to close it on this call. But normally it would go on 2 or 3 because you'd then have to do a demo, etc, etc. Yeah. So have you had so far with companies?
Like 4 so far.
Alright.
Yeah.
And what have you... Competition. What have you liked so far? Good question. Good question. Positive as well, so it's not like, what didn't you like about them? Some people might think if you were saying what didn't you like about them, it's because you're then going to completely play on that and go, yeah, well, we don't do that, we're the best at this, features, benefits. No. So what did you actually like? What was it you liked? What went well for you?
I have liked, some people have offered Google Workspace emails for a cheaper price.
Mm-hmm.
Dear God, when you have, it racks up. I was like talking to my accountant the other day, and what is going on over here? And I was like, does it cost that much? No wonder. I said, yeah, Crossfit is not looking hot. I was like, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, we've got to shave some places. So
look, I'm not looking around. I'm looking at him, like that, looking at him, and I'm nodding. Yeah, okay, I'm listening. So, like I said, second by second, he's just feeling so much more relaxed because he knows I'm actually listening, and I'm listening to respond. I'm not listening to talk. I'm not thinking in my head what the next question is. And this will come with time. Maybe to start with, you probably, because I remember when I first started doing calls like this, and I was thinking of what question to ask next, and it just wouldn't flow nicely from question to question. It sounded scripted. Whereas I'm listening, and once he's finished, or once a question comes into my head and I've got a good opportunity to cut him off and ask that question, I'd do that.
So, yeah, but I actually, it's stupid because I've actually been paying for like Smart Lead and all these domains, and I've not been sending out many cold emails.
Okay.
Because I've just been too busy to set them up. Like, I know the copy is there.
I always chew my cheek.
I just hate scraping it and re-uploading it, downloading it. But I know what to...
See, that's a smile. You can tell that's a smile because I know I can help him straight away. I know I'm helping this guy. He hates scraping the leads, he said, and downloading them and uploading them and getting the emails. He hates it. That can all be automated. I'm not thinking dollar bills. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, I can help this guy. I've got the power to help someone. That is human nature. You should want to help people. I know I certainly do. I want to help anyone and everyone. Mainly because of the feeling you see how happy they are. You've given them a new lease of life in a way. And people will be really happy, and you get a buzz off that excitement and that happiness. It makes you feel happy. And that's what's so good about helping people and being kind to people in general. I know this video is going to go down a weird path if I carry on. But the best way to make you feel happy is to make others feel happy. And I know right now, based off what he's just told me, his process, it can be automated, and I know he doesn't like what he does at the moment, so I know I can make him happy.
I really do know what to do. I just...
That manual work is just, you haven't got the time for that manual work, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's so...
Relation. I'm relating back to what he's just said. Normally I do it in a different sentence. I've literally just relayed everything he's just said there, or I've summarised it in the exact same way that he said it. A better way would be to say exactly what he said, but in a completely different sentence and structure, because it shows you're listening.
Right there, I just could not, for the life of me, I just end up going back to Upwork and getting all my clients there. Just like a warm lead source. And then like you book the meetings and they're cold as hell, and you got to warm them up, and you got to let them know who you are, blah, blah, blah.
Upwork's great. I prefer cold email. Yeah, I prefer cold email. Upwork is great though.
The close rate is always much lower
Mm-hmm.
than sources, but I know to scale.
You can make a lot of money on Upwork. I suppose I'm too lazy for it. I'm on it. I've got some clients from it. I prefer cold email. I feel a lot more confident getting once I'm on a meeting. I know I'm just confident once I'm on the meeting, because I love speaking to people. I love understanding their issues, and most of all, I love being able to solve their issues.
It's one channel that I at least need to give a good try. So I've actually been posting a bunch of jobs on Upwork myself.
Okay.
Looking for someone.
See, that's something. It's becoming irrelevant. I think there's another time where I try and get in and speak, and you should do it. You should start speaking, but then apologise. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But you know when you said, and then go into the questioning.
Just like I was thinking, okay, I could either get like a VA just to like say, hey, here's the copy, put it in here. Here's how you scrape a list. Do it.
I've just shaved off all my hair. That's why it looks greasy. It's because I've just come back from the barber's. Look at that, eh?
And then use these filtering criteria, and it's like, but then I have to teach her how to filter leads with GPT, because if you start sending, some people are like, it doesn't matter, just blast them anyway. Like, you don't have to filter them. But it's like, but then you run into deliverability issues, because if you start.
So he's showing me his knowledge in cold email, which is good. I know there's not much training. This guy's going to be a good client. He's going to know what he's on about. He's going to take full accountability. He understands that anything that goes wrong is his fault, and anything that goes right is his fault, and that's what most CEOs and founders are like. They take full accountability for everything that goes wrong and everything that goes right, and that's exactly how you should be. Whereas if you were to hire a lead gen agency, you don't have accountability. You can't take. People like to take control. CEOs, founders like to do it themselves, right? A lot of the times you have to outsource. But what's much more attractive for businesses is the fact that they can own the system themselves, just input into an app, and all the results get generated. They don't have to rely on anyone else, worry about anyone else getting their leads for them. It could go wrong, it could go right, who knows, it's out of my control. But if they have the system and they own it, they're going to feel that it's why it's a lot more attractive to businesses, is because they know that if it goes wrong, it's because they did something wrong, not because a lead gen agency did something wrong. The blame's on themselves.
I just ended up targeting a bunch of schools, and a couple of them got mad. I've just reported.
He's talking now about industry checks. If you scrape Apollo, sometimes the industry that they're in isn't always the correct industry, right? He's on about scraping software development, and then ended up getting schools, and because he landed in schools' inbox, emailing them about software development, that they're triggering him as that they're marking him as spam, which obviously isn't ideal for him. So again, there's a little smile on me. There's a little wry smile, because again, I know I can help him with that. That's what I do for most of my clients. If they're scraping Apollo, I'll put in an industry check. They put in the app, the industry that they want to be searching for, and I'll have an AI step which will check the industry they've input against the one that Perplexity outputs, and if they match, then yeah, carry on. If they don't, then no, we're not adding them. We're not personalising them. We're not adding them to the email sequence.
It's bad. That's gonna mess up my deliverability now, isn't it? Thanks a lot. So it is important. You have to go through the list and make sure that they're actually part of the MCP. Because no matter how many, whether you get it from Apollo, whether you get it from, I don't care what your data source is. None of these providers are ever going to give you the super cleanest, squeaky.
He's just, you know, he's peacocking. He's showing me his knowledge.
This cleanest list.
No.
So you do have to go through it, and I do some combination like GPT for sheets.
Okay.
But I just haven't had the time to sit down. And
Absolutely. Times. Yeah. This was my opportunity to get in. He was going to carry on rambling. He probably went on for a bit too long, for my liking. So I come in and ramble myself. I think now time's money. Time is money, and a lot of people, especially, are you just by yourself at the moment? That's something I do as well. I need to start doing. I start a sentence, stop it, and instantly start another sentence. Listen. Time is money, and a lot of people, especially, are you just by yourself at the moment? A lot of people, especially, are you just by yourself at the moment? It's like people then who people are like, what have you just said? I do it so much, and that's something I need to work on. But there's a lot of good and a lot of bad in here. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not. I'm far from it. I'm not the best salesman in the world at all by a long stretch. Probably not even the best 50%. But this is how you learn. This is how you get better.
I have team members as well. So.
But they're helping out. But the brunt of it, you're doing all the work, right? And that.
Exactly.
Showing him that I'm listening, relaying back. Oh, I look like the Joker there, don't I? Well, I'm just showing him. I'm relaying back what he told me in a different way. So, lost my train of thought there because time scares me. That face is precious, and a lot of people don't have the time to do this stuff. So they do outsource. They do go for lead generation agencies, and I'm guessing that's the type. Are they the people you've been speaking to? Are lead gen agencies?
And they're charging like $2,000 a month, and I'm just like, I'm too small for that. Like soon, maybe one day, maybe. I would love to be able to afford a lead gen agency. Honestly, I'd love to be able to afford a good lead gen agency, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
In terms of my current budget, so I was like, okay.
Cool. And just so you're aware, Johnny.
Yeah.
I cut him off because again he was going to start rambling. It's what you got to do. Stop being overly polite. I don't know what you guys like in the US, but you know in the UK or India or wherever. But in the UK we have a tendency to be overly polite, and in calls like this, it's not the way forward. You're here for a reason. You're trying to find out their problems and see if you can solve them. I don't want to hear about your nan's cat. We're not what you had for dinner last night. Okay, I don't know if you knew that from the email. We're AI and hyper automations. Okay, cool. Oh, I told you that, right?
You told me, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That's why I just need to save some time here because
I need to save some time. Pain point. He's told me 3 pain points here or such that I know I can help with. This guy's gonna love me.
Go up. I got my first clients with cold email. I know cold email.
Yeah. Good.
I just stopped. I just turned it off because I went to.
Good.
Upwork and cold email the opposite, right? So Upwork, like it's.
I'm on Upwork myself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you'll know it's hard to scale, right? Because you're limited to how many people are searching for the thing that they type in.
Precisely.
Some months is great.
Precisely.
Swarms and like you just it's like okay, like I've got enough to handle. And then other months, you're just like it is. So I want to turn cold email back on.
Okay, cool.
Go back to my roots. I want to try cold email another time. Something a bit more automated. Because again, the issue with Upwork is that you always have to do. I don't know what your strategy is for getting work there, but for me, personalized leads works a charm.
Yeah,
great, phenomenal.
And I automate that somehow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't automate the videos, but I automate sort of.
Yeah, so I've got Gig Radar. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
That's been working really well for me so far.
That's getting a bit saturated now. I still think I've been getting a few cold emails now of people sending the Loom videos constantly about how they can help, and it's like if everyone's gonna start doing this, I'm not even gonna show you the system because it's not even worth it. It might be worth it. It's just people are doing it. I think still just scraping 20,000 leads and cleaning the list and sending emails out to 12,000 of them. Is just a much more efficient strategy.
I just attach like a DSL underneath my cover letter.
Yeah.
That works. That's been working reasonably well. But they just released another thing that obviously filters because the problem is that it's wasting my connects. Too many in a go. And again,
rambling. I should have stopped it now. This is rambling.
Background.
Right.
I moved into marketing, so I mainly focus right now on B2B marketing. but I thought, okay, I could just write a Python script, automate some of this. There's a reason I transitioned from developing to marketing. I was a very mediocre developer.
So are you using any of your developing skills in your current in your company now? Irrelevant question, really. Yeah. Oh, is there any sort of
sometimes? Yeah. So I had this thing that would it would scrape the.
I suppose it's not a bad thing because it shows again you're listening. I've butted in. We need to get back on track soon, though.
I didn't know any Python. I did stuff like AWS and like Terraform and Ansible. So I didn't really know any Python. So I got GPT to write it. And obviously, when you get GPT to write it, it's terrible. So it was just full of bugs. But it worked. Like it would scrape. It would use beautiful soup. It would scrape the website. But now you have stuff like Clay. But again, Clay is super expensive. So all these low-code tools, they exist. They're all very expensive. And again, like I'm knee-deep in fighting fires with clients. So I never get and when you're building or developing something, you need to be focused. Like you cannot be jumping back.
100%.
And a marketing brain and a developer brain is completely different.
So
the task switching element, but then there's also you're just using a different part of your brain which you haven't used in a while.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm a very mediocre.
Yeah, you can see I'm trying. I'm going okay. That's it's just you can tell by the tone of voice there. It's like, okay, well, and I'm trying to shepherd the conversation down a different path.
To step away from that, because I realised I just do not have the patience to debug. But I understand at top levels. That's why I love low code and stuff.
Yeah.
But there are just so many instances where you need that you have to be able to code properly.
Okay.
So I
see again. I'm trying to cut him off. He's rambling. This is not relevant at all. And the biggest thing for me in this course so far is that I haven't cut him off earlier. And carried on with the questioning.
To put up a job, being like, hey, can somebody help me automate?
We're talking about Upwork and his own software development skills. Knowing that isn't going to help me understand your problems and help you solve them.
Some of this cold email stuff.
And did you get many responses? Any applications?
Yeah,
trying to get back on track.
I have to manage it, right? So I have to tell them what to do. I have to explain to them. I want as soon as this thing comes in, I want you to scrape this, and I want to be able to click a button and have it filter by my ICP.
My cheeks must be really chewed up. I'm chewing them.
Oh,
lovely. Okay, cool.
Extract the information out of you. I was like, it's showing you, there must be a software by now that does this. Like,
okay.
Something must exist.
I can talk you through. I can 100% talk you through that. I just need to. There's just a couple other things. I just trying to get back on track. I didn't know I did this because this call. It's now Friday. This call was Tuesday, I think. Invoice landed today. All paid for. 100% of the project up front. I just need to finish the build, tweak it for him because it's a plug and play one. Tweak it for him, which won't take me too long at all, and we're good to go. But yeah, trying to get back on track. That's the most important thing here. We've gone off track there, off piece, and it's time to get back on. I want to ask you.
Go for it.
So, in terms of, is there anything else you're doing other than Upwork and cold email in the back? Have you got any other strategies for lead generation?
No, that's it.
Okay. Seeing if there's going to be a bespoke system here to build. If there's other systems that he uses that I could plug in to the whole automation to increase the value, not monetary value, but the value to the client. Because you asked that because they might have a load of different apps dotted around that you could connect through API calls and make it all one big system. So that's why I asked that question.
I think of doing paid ads because one of my key services is paid.
He's thinking of doing paid ads. Oh, here you go. It is an opportunity for later down the line, so I'm going to remember this, okay? So I've worked with him on this system. I'll stick with him for 14 days to make sure everything's okay. Then maybe another 14 days or another 28, something like that. Down the line, I'll talk to him about the results he's been getting, and then if he still is thinking about paid ads from all the money he's been getting from the system to really scale, then that's where the data and AI comes into play, and you can just repurpose other people's ads. You can use Google Trends and keyword finders and Facebook ads, and you can literally scrape all that on Apify, understand what ads are doing really well for other competitors and repurpose them. Because the way ads work is, especially like Facebook ads and TikTok ads and stuff like that, you make a whole bunch and you send them out and you do a load of testing with them, and then you take out the ones that aren't performing well, and you keep doing that, and you keep until you've got like 5 or 10 or less ads that are doing really, really well, and you just hammer in on them. You spend the rest of your budget on those ads. Imagine getting rid of all the testing, understanding which ads do well already, and have AI or create them all and stuff like that. It would be incredible for his business. So that's something, you know, from this call I can remember or note down and talk to him later on, talk to him about later on down the line. But essentially, one that finds people that are doing the same sort of ads, figures out which ones are performing the best, repurpose them, and have AI then create the ads as well. It's a license to print money.
So eventually,
and they do well in that space, in the marketing space.
Pardon?
Paid ads do quite well in the marketing space.
They do, yeah, usually. But
I've helped a couple other clients with that exact system that I've just mentioned.
Are you ready for it?
Which is why, you know, this is why I've said before, don't niche down. I can listen to people's pain points and think of an automation for them, which is much more valuable than just and efficient than just going to one industry and speaking to them about one automation. I'm an automation specialist. I'll build automations for anyone that is going to really impact positively on their business. So I've worked with a couple of marketing agencies and stuff like that who have ran paid ads, and I know that if you do them right, you're flying. You will be flying.
And I'm still figuring out sort of my target market as
And
well. What to go after. So
when did you put?
Is to test.
So he's figuring out his target market. You don't even need to do that. You can let AI and Google Trends and all this scraping. You can scrape a load of data to tell you which market to send which ads out to. Oh, there's so much you can do. It's incredible. Okay. And when did you put out the applications on Upwork? How long have you been sort of looking for something like this?
It's still up.
Something I say is sort of. How long have you been sort of looking? I've been sort of looking. I've been looking straight to the point. Make sure you calculate every single word and articulate that sentence really well. And it comes with practice. You know, I've been doing this three or so years. I still can't. I tend to add in filler words that aren't necessary.
So I'm still looking for people to just come in and like a VA to just help me get the campaigns up. It's like the copy is there. I just can't bother to download the list and filter it.
So are you looking for? Are you looking for?
Stupid amounts. So it's just like.
Yeah. Have you looking for a more of a like a lead scraping automation? Because okay.
That is the thing that takes so much time. It's a lead scrape, not just lead scraping, scraping and filtering.
The filtering is easy. We can 100% do that. It depends where you're getting your list from, though. If you're scraping Apollo, then you have to do industry checks and
so filthy.
Yeah. But if you're so filthy, if you're getting a list from say a list from Apollo, it's so filthy. He's not wrong. If you're scraping LinkedIn Sales Navigator automatically, you have got much higher quality leads, and you're less likely to actually need to filter that through. Which obviously you always need to, because the industry is already, you know, LinkedIn. That's what LinkedIn's for. They themselves have put the industry on their LinkedIn profile, meaning you don't need to actually add that AI step in. You just need to add a step in to actually find the emails, because it doesn't come with a LinkedIn scraper. Check your leads in terms of, you know, with like a that'd be cool. A scraper that finds the LinkedIn leads, but also the emails along. Verifier. You always need to check if they're valid, but in terms of Apollo, you need to add an extra step in to check whether the industry is correct, because they get so much wrong. You can get a bunch of it.
Yeah. Like I did a B2B SaaS campaign. Half of them were software developer companies.
There you go. Okay, cool.
Throwing me up the wall. Really frustrating, but yeah.
Okay. So that's very common, to be fair. If you're looking for SaaS, you're looking for software development. Our core offering, the people that think they're. So now I know I can help him. I've got all the information I need. Sometimes you'll need to question a lot more. Very rarely you'll need to question a lot less. I think I've maybe asked 4 or 5 questions here. I know the conversation at the moment's gone on for 15 minutes or so, but I've got more than enough here to know that I can help him. Automation we put into businesses the most is a hyper personalizer. Don't know if this will be exactly relevant to you just because you already have the copy, but you'll know yourself with email deliverability. Again, even though I might not needed to, I've disarmed him. Don't know if this is relevant for you, but, and then I'm going to go into the pitch. You know, this might not be relevant for you, and he'll be internally thinking, no, this isn't for me. This is for me. What are you on about? You can tell I'm not trying to sell him. This is consultative. So you can't just be sending the same email over and over again to the same people. Showing my expertise. You can use spin tags, but it's even that's changing now in 2025. Google.
Yeah, apparently you can't use spin tags anymore. Like they're
so
figuring it out.
You need to, from top to bottom, personalize that email. So what this does, you can scrape the leads from Apollo. We can check it in terms of, we can do it from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, wherever. Scrape the leads. We can then do all kinds of checks. We can put them through. Have you heard of Perplexity? Yeah, so we can put them through that to do like an AI search engine. Search that lead, that company, everything about them. Then we can do the check once we know everything about them. Then we can actually use Claude, which is or GPT-4o, but Claude's a lot cheaper. Talked too much about it here. I'm rambling. I'm talking too much. Who cares about the tools that I'm using and stuff like that? It's just, you need to know input and output. Don't really need to know too much, as much detail as I'm going into about the tools names and everything. You can just say you input this, it does this, and then it outputs this. Just 3 quick things. It's 50% the price, but has just the same amount of human-like. Yeah, Claude's incredible in terms of the API usage, but it has just the same. You know what I mean about rambling? Claude's incredible in terms of the API usage. What does that even mean? Yeah, but in terms of it just means it's 50% cheaper than OpenAI and just as good. The API and the rate limits and everything like that, you can use Claude. It's 50%. He doesn't need to know that. He doesn't need to know about rate limits and stuff like that. I've gone off on a tangent here. It's not good. Cheaper than GPT-4o, but it's just the same amount of human-like personalization. So we can then take everything that we learn from this lead from Perplexity, create a top-to-bottom email in the exact structure that you like. So it's important part of the pitch is this is, it's personalized from head to toe, but it isn't an AI email. This is still the same structure as you would send out. It just adds in hyper-personalized words to do with exactly what it is their industry is, or what they do, or what's come out in the news, or recent achievements, blah, 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 blah. Still in your structure, however you use it, whether it's icebreaker, value hook, social proof, CTA, or whatever it is you do in terms of your structure. We can train it to use that structure, upload them into, I think, did you use Smartlead, do you?
Yeah,
upload into, is that
changing back to Instantly? I don't know.
He's not, he stayed with Smartlead. I use Instantly personally. I think it's great, but which is great for me. I've never ever uploaded leads into Smartlead, so it was good to, it's another new API call to make. Put them into Instantly, and so all you've done, I'll show you this in a moment so you can understand it a bit better, but all you've done, more clients, more learning, and you just get so confident. Anyone says, can you connect with this? Yeah. Is input something into an application that I build for you, and then, so whether it's your, poorly articulated, but we're getting there. You input into an app, it does this, it gets output into that ICP, or whether it's a search you've already done in terms of the URL, it will then in the back end scrape all this, do everything I've just mentioned, and put it into Instantly, ready for you to send out as and when to get those leads in. And you can imagine, one, it's good for your email deliverability. You're landing in more inboxes because you landed. Like a horse. I'm rambling now about his email deliverability and stuff, just because he's mentioned it before. That was a pain point for him, was landing in spam and spin tags and stuff like that. So I'm mentioning how good it is for your deliverability. So even though I'm probably speaking too much about it, it's a good strategy what I'm doing. It's not, at the time I wasn't thinking strategy. I wasn't thinking he mentioned this, so I'm going to say that. I just listened to his pain points, and now I'm telling him about the solution to his pain. It's like a doctor. I've said this analogy before, but you go to a doctor, you talk to them about your pain. He asks on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does it hurt? Does it hurt when you do this? Does it hurt when you do that? How long have you had this pain for? Stuff like that. That's what you got to be like. And then you give a solution. You give him antibiotics to relieve that pain, not just short term, but long term. You're better than a doctor. Do you understand what I'm saying? More inboxes, you're getting more replies, and because of the hyper personalization element of it, you're just getting replies. Even if they're not positive, you're still getting replies because people are saying not relevant, not really relevant, a little bit relevant, but I don't need to talk so much about it. Thank you so much for actually looking into my business. This isn't right for us now, but thanks so much for doing the research. Not many people do that. So without further ado, shall I just show you exactly sort of what it... I know I can help him, so it's time to now show him exactly what it looks like.
This is this sounds like a sort of like something you could do with like a low-code setup, like make something. I'm really curious to see even the back end.
Yeah, cool. I can. Well, I mean, in the
very curious.
After a, if this was successful and we worked together, then it is built on Make, and that will be on your account.
Nice.
So again, it's for him. He wanted to own it all. He wanted to see. He was really interested in the back end, which sometimes people are, and sometimes, most of the time, to be honest, people aren't. But he was interested in it, so I said, "Yeah, it's built on your account, on a Make.com account." So absolutely, once I've received payment and I've built it completely on your account, do all you want with it. Just don't break it. But you can have a look into stuff. Show you exactly how that looks. If you just bear with me a moment, I've got too many tabs open here. I wasn't prepared. I actually was setting up the camera and stuff really quickly before I was on another call, and then I had to get off that call and set up the camera for this discovery call. So I had loads of tabs open, and normally what I'd do is I'd just have the 3 tabs. So I'd have instantly ready, showing the personalization and how the email sequence would look, and I'd have the app open, so I'd just have those 2 open. I think I'd have something else. Just Google Meets. Okay, put it all on the so I'll show you the app that I've already implemented into one business, and then I'll show you what the personalizations look within my Instantly at the moment, because the email that you received was very generic. What haircut's better? Is it the shorter at the back or longer? Or don't you care? This is going to be completely different.
How does it? Okay, I'll ask that at the end. I'll just let you rock.
Yeah, I'll show you exactly what we do. And where are we here? Cool. So this is an example of what I've done for a what were they? They were like they had their own CRM platform, and they had so many different ways of lead generation, so many different strategies, but they also had their own cold emailing team, and it just wasn't working. They wanted some sort of automation, right? Social proof in the demo, perfect. Once you've created the app and you've got your first client, that's the one you use until you've made a really good app. So this app that I was showing him is really sexy. It's really cool. I just take off the client's name and I go and I show them what the app looks like, whilst giving them a bit of social proof as well. So, can you see this? This is what I did for someone else. What's really good as well, they were also suffering the same problems. They were also hating all the scraping. They knew a lot about cold email. They also hated the time it spent scraped. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You just mentioned their pain points. They were also going through this, and this is what I did to help them. How you helped similar companies. It is your chances of closing that sale is going to triple, quadruple, 10 times, to be honest, by just showing them that someone else has gone through the same issues as you, and this is how I solved it. Okay. Johnny?
Oh yeah, I'm on mute.
Sorry, I can't see the screen. So basically, either you'd start it by putting in an Apollo or a LinkedIn search URL, the campaign ID that you want this to go in. Say you're running maybe 2 or 3 campaigns. So for example, I sold this to a email marketer. He had over like 50 clients, so he needed to make sure that 40 clients. Each client were having their own campaign in their own workspace, in their own separate campaign. So you put the campaign ID. If that's not needed, it's not needed. The workspace that it's going in, and the industry. And this is what I don't know why I said that. It's needed on every single bill. Used to do they want to know what campaign, what emails to put the campaign into. And just check if instantly or smartly need that. And you were to. Brand new camera that is as well, you know. Just fucking breaks. Runs out of battery. I need a new battery. Right, carry on. Apollo. You put that in. AI will take that.
Okay. Nice.
Take that and do the check. So you'd put the actual industry in. I'm not sure if this has made sense. I'm just going over it one more time.
No, yeah. I tried it.
Rambling. Didn't explain it well. Something I sometimes struggle with is actually articulating myself well. I don't explain things as well and clearly as I do sometimes think in my head. So sometimes I need to just sit back, take a breath, okay, and just talk him through it from start to finish efficiently.
Something like this. If I did Python, I didn't have an interface. It was horrible because I had to the Python interface.
I mean, if you want, I could knock a little bit off the price and not even give you the app if you're familiar with Make, and I could just tell you to run it through Make. It's not you don't need to pay me all this money. So his guard's just going down and down, but he'll want the app. Everyone wants the app. Something I do it, and you know, it's not my brand is.
I don't have time. I literally don't.
Okay, yeah. So
maybe.
I don't have time, but let me just input something into an app and let me just get it out in the output. That's what everyone wants. You just want the app. Yeah, exactly.
Going out. I'm putting this on for literally the longest time. They just need to go out.
Yeah.
It needs to be seamless.
Okay, cool. So this is as seamless as it will get. You literally input everything. If you want to do your own search on, say, on LinkedIn Sales Navigator or Apollo, you put it into here. The automation does the scraping for you, it does the personalizing for you, and adds it into instantly. So I'll just show you quickly what it looks like. So this is the sort of level of personalization we're talking. I haven't even put a single word in. It's literally just all variables, right? I'm showing him now what it looks like in instantly, where it just looks like personalization, value hook, social proof, CTA, PS. That's all I'm showing him. This is examples. This isn't something I've sent out, so ignore the social proof. But this is what we call the personalization. So this is you'll know this anyway, but this is what's gonna drive opens. We don't track the open rates, but people are gonna see this in their inbox body preview, and it's gonna make them want to open it. Once they've opened it and we've rubbed their ego a little bit, it's then right. Okay, this is what we do. So whatever your biggest ever value hook is, I'll work with you for that. But if you wrote your campaigns already, we can just sort of work together and bounce ideas off each other, and test it in different ways. But that's the value hook. There's the social proof. So your best ever case study. And if I was to show you loads of different ones, it would be the exact same structure. It would be the icebreaker, then it would be the TLDR, then it would be the social proof, then it would be either can I send you a video? What's it called? Personalized to your business, D3A in this example, or whatever. Can I send more info? However it is, we don't sell on the first cold email. I'm sure you already know. You know, we just want to provide value and drive replies. Again, then it's a PS. So look, even if this isn't a fit, I do want to hear more about how technology is reshaping the venture capital and advisory services. So again, hyper personalized drives replies. Now, I'm just going through an email with him.
Yeah.
It's that's how we do it.
So advise what you're using to scrape Apollo. Makes a ton of sense.
I was going to say, I don't know if that was a good R or a bad one.
I pay for that Appify.
Oh, cool. See, he pays for all these tools anyway. This is why it's so good. That's why you ask at the start. You know, what else are you doing? What other processes do you have? What software do you use? You want to know everything, so you can then create in your head an automation that's perfect for them.
Yeah, fine. That's fair enough. Okay.
So what are your initial thoughts? Look, so boom. So just what are you thinking? Let me know. Give me an objection. Let me handle it. Get your initial thoughts on how it works, what you think, what's on the top of your head. Right, 3 questions in once. You don't need to. What are your thoughts? That's it. Boom. Shush. Right now, are you thinking, no, this won't work for me?
My head is, how often is it gonna break?
How often is it gonna break? Never. No, it's created to not break. Okay. I've done this for the email marketer who, like I said, does about 4 scrapes a day. Doesn't break. We obviously end-to-end testing. I can't give you an automation that hasn't been end-to-end tested at least 10 times on my own account with my own money. Right? It wouldn't make sense. I can't just give you an automation that is going to break, and I'm going to have to fix it. Right? This is made to not break. Objection handled. Confidently. Unless you're not pulling. It's designed to pull data in a very structured way. So if you go on Apify and you start playing with that, or if you go on, I don't know, showing my expertise, complexity or something, you start playing with stuff, then it's break. But if you use it how it's intended, it's unbreakable.
Yeah, nice. Okay, great. And then, are you throwing this through my concern is when you're generating the email copy with AI. My concern is that AI has a tendency to put in spam words. So they'll say things like free audit. Yeah. Free is that's an immediate spam word. You're going straight to the bin.
I know exactly how I'm going to answer this, but I'm letting him finish. You can tell in my face, look, little smug prick.
You put that in there. I mean, not always, but it's like, why are we risking this? So let's just get in the inbox.
I'm just waiting to answer.
Even putting money, I would never put money. I would never put 7,432.
See, this is it. I let him finish. I do let him finish just because he's going to tell me more and more and more. I could have answered this after the first time he said, what did he say? Spam words. But now he's talking about money, and I can talk to him about, I can handle all objections at once, or all the sub-objections in the one big objection. But the thing is, Johnny, if you put, this is a trick, if you put a space between the pound sign and the value, it's not considered spam.
Really?
Yeah.
And so have you trained it to actually do stuff like that?
Because absolutely.
There are all sorts of odd words. So when you pass it through, so what I normally have to do is I have to pass my email copy through Mail Meteor spam checker.
Yeah.
And check my phrasing until I get
exactly what I do. Yeah.
Spam free. Is your AI doing that?
No. I wonder if there is a Mail Meteor API. That would be really cool. But
thinking that as well, I was like, why isn't there a Mail Meteor API?
We're just becoming best mates. Yeah, so stepbrothers, did we just become best friends? What you do is, it's through testing. So you keep testing and you not understand. You then put it through Mail Meteor once it's giving you an output, and then you start tweaking it. Everything's through prompting. I'm not going to prompt this once and that's it. It'll probably take me 50 times to prompt it to make sure that it's outputting exactly what you want. And I understand what you're saying about spam words. That's true.
I really wish Mail Meteor, because there's another tool. There's another AI tool, and I wonder if they have an API. I can't remember what it was called, but they do have a tool that lets you
check for spam.
Lets you check for spam.
So
like a GPT, like a custom. It's basically their own custom GPT that they've already made.
Can you see the structure of the call though? So I ask him the questions at the start. I gauge I understand what his problems are and whether I can solve them. Once I understand that, then I move on to stage 2, but only when I understand that. I then move on to stage 2. Okay, let me quickly show you how it works and make sure you understand. Stage 3, let's handle objections. The best salespeople will handle objections before they even come up. They'll know the questions that are coming, and they'll go, yeah, this, in the explanation, this checks for spam. This makes sure we don't go in spam words. We also make sure it doesn't break. That's something I'll internally now think about. And next time I'm doing stage 2, the demo, I'll be like, yeah, so it's designed to land in inbox, and the way we do that is by training it to not use spam words. Also, it's designed not to break, stuff like that. So now we're on stage 3, where I'm just listening to his concerns.
I never looked. Again, I'm too busy.
But what I showed you, if I was to put that in Mail Meteor, I probably would get a scoring of poor because of maybe 1 or 2 words, which you can train. So I'm just being honest with him, and he's loving it. I've told it to stay. I'm not saying no spam words at all. It'll be great. Everything's great. It's the best thing in the world. No, there's flaws, but it's not, because this flaw is not. If you get a poor rating in Mail Meteor from one email, doesn't mean it's going to land in spam at all in the slightest. Away from risk-free, guarantee, just words like that. Make sure it's put a space in, so you can just prompt it and give it really specific prompting to make sure that it doesn't spit out.
So would I have an interface to be able to prompt it, or is that done on your end?
That's really interesting. I looked at this with someone else. There is potential for you to put into the app. This would become a lot more bespoke. It's just not worth it, that. And what I was going to say is, and I did look into this for a couple of other people so that they could change the prompts. You're best off just paying me a monthly retainer. One, so I can fix it if it does break. Two, I can't remember what I was saying, but basically what I've looked into is having an input into the app where they can change the prompt within GPT. It's 100% doable, but it's just not worth it. I'm the expert. I know. I've been prompting for years. I know how to engineer prompts. These people don't, so they'll just put in prompts that just won't work. It's doable though, which is really interesting. Just makes it a lot more bespoke, and a lot more bespoke and complexity. Obviously adds. No, don't copy me. Quite a lot to the price, because it could take me a day or 2 days of editing and putting it in and building that. Or I could train you, give you a quick. There's the money. I'll train you. I don't know what else I was going to say, but that's included in the price. I come in and I train you for a day, or we have a call for half a day, a couple hours, and I train you exactly on the system. I do also do Loom videos. For someone like this, I'd probably do a Loom video, but for some people a lot less technical, I'd do half a day, but I'd add about 500 quid onto the price to come in and train them on the system and the prompts and stuff like that. Video on how to change the prompts within Claude and everything in the back end.
I'm sure I could figure it out, yeah.
100% sure you could, yeah.
Yeah, I could probably figure it out, so you could do that as well. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it's just designed.
I've also got a guy who.
I shouldn't have started talking there.
Has a really good.
I was just going to reiterate what I've already said before.
Email, like he sells inboxes, and I know what you're thinking. Like,
This is what he starts talking about a guy he knows and a software development company he knows who can sell one domain and have 99 inboxes in, still set up for cold email. A lot of you guys probably want to listen to this. We'll go a bit forward and then we'll do it. Watch.
We're doing it all, right? And it's a really cool looking software. And the thing that was interesting for me is that
he's like, what was he doing? He's doing something. He's doing the marketing side of a startup that are now gonna. Can I say this? I don't know if I can show this. Probably can. He it's a startup that's going to do everything in one. So everything that Instantly does, everything that Clay does, everything that Phantom Buster does, all in one app and bit of software. Sounds pretty cool. I'm just going to skip it though, just in case he mentions the name of the company or something like that. If you were to do an Apollo search URL, put it in. There you go. Interesting pricing, I think.
Yeah. All right. How much is it?
There you go. How much is it? Let's just go a little bit back. I'm really confident in my system that I can just get on calls like this and just think you'd be stupid not to. Alright. Don't call your prospects stupid. I was just explaining the confidence in my system that I have, and I called him stupid. I wouldn't advise doing that at all. Obviously, I do apologise in a way. Obviously, you were not stupid, Johnny. I think I say, but he took it well. Let's just go back a little bit so we can just. There's just so much of a difference, and now I'm incredibly confident in my system that I can just get on calls like this and just think you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Not calling you stupid, Johnny, obviously, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, see, he took it well. We had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, alright, how much is it? Let's see. I'm gonna, yeah.
So maybe it's a good strategy. I don't know. I'd love Jeremy Minor to pick this apart himself. Let's see what he has to say. I don't know if there's any sales people going to be watching this thinking, oh my god, he's just called his prospects stupid. If he didn't buy, he's stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't advise that, if I'm honest.
Compare this with the
yeah.
And whatnot, but honestly, like, this just sounds cool.
This was, I knew he was interested now. You know, he's going on about it. He says it sounds cool. He knows it's going to help him. I know it's going to help him. Because it's already built, pretty much, it just needs a tweak. I felt wrong. I don't know. This is where having a set price for your automations really helps, because sometimes I jump around a bit. But I went with 3,500. I wouldn't sell it now for less than 3,500, which is $4,500. I wouldn't sell it for less than that, because you'll make that back in a month. I think I actually say that. With a system like this, businesses will make that back in a month, and what an investment that is. And that you genuinely are stupid if you weren't to buy that. This is why I rarely offer free trials, because for free, people are getting a system for 30 days that is just guaranteed to get them a client. Money back guarantees, I do, but it's ideally you want to just get them closed. You don't want to be offering stuff like that unless they really, really ask for it. But a money back guarantee, they could literally get 2 clients and then say, I don't want the system. So you've got to be clear in your wording and your contractual agreements. You know, if you land a client, then, or if you don't land a client, I'll give you the money back. But again, that has never happened, just because that people see real value in it, because they're landing so many leads, and if they can't close them, they understand it's probably their fault. So so let's see how I handle this. You currently pay $2,000 a month. I haven't sold, so I mentioned again what he got offered before for a system like this, or for probably a worse system. $2,000 a month you got offered. I don't think even I can really understand that, so I don't expect you to, but that's what I said. Quite $2,000. Let's just go. So you currently pay $2,000 a month. I haven't sold, or I have no idea what I said there. One thing I say is my body language. Look at me. I'm like, I'm all scared and tucked in. Is what I'd say. When you're saying a prize, you should be like that. Like Kangaroo Jack or whatever that kangaroo is. Roger. You've been quoted $2,000 a month, right? Which is stupid money. This system, if you were to do an Apollo search URL, put it in. Camera died. That's carrying on. You were to do your own search on either LinkedIn or Apollo. LinkedIn would go up a little bit more. So if it was Apollo, if we did all the industry checks, if we filtered telling him exactly what he wanted to know, what he asked for before, if we did this, if we did that, if we did exactly what you want that you told me you needed, and personalised and added it instantly, that's 3,500 for the system. One time. That's 3,500. Good. Well done, Ben, must say. You pay ongoing costs, but if you were to run this once every month, the ongoing costs would be 70 quid, 80 quid. I can get something exact for you, but oh, sorry, and obviously you're instantly, so it would go up to about 150 a month with instantly as well.
That's fine, I'm doing it anyway. Interesting. Okay, is that GBP? Are you VAT registered? So is it including or excluding?
That's excluding VAT.
Excluding VAT. Mm-hmm. So you are right. So you are VAT registered, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But you are UK based, or?
Yeah, I'm Staffordshire. Where are you based?
London.
Okay. Do you know Staffordshire?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. Anything north of Birmingham. We just said the same thing. at the same time. Anything north of, he said anything north of London is just the north. I said anything north of Birmingham. Yeah, really fun. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
So, I mean, it's the cheapest that will probably ever be as well, in all fairness. As you can imagine, a system like this will probably generate... Not needed to say that. Wasn't needed. I got him. We've got him. Say that, we've got him. That's not the right way to say it, you know. But he's interested. He's ready. He's actually ready to buy. He's silly. He's a bit like, oh, it's a lot of money. But at the same time, he's ready to buy. He understands... He's not dumb. He understands the benefits of this, not just what it's going to do in terms of time saving, but the impact it's going to have on his business. Do that and it's generated other people the return of investment in a month, 2 months, stuff like that. You know.
And then what? You show me the back end as well.
You get the back end.
Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah. Look, that actually sounds super enticing, to be honest. Right? That actually does not sound too terrible.
Too terrible. It does sound super enticing. It is a cheap price for the system that it is. I just wanted to buy a plane ticket to... No, I'm joking. Yeah, like this system can be sold for so much more, and it has been sold for so much more. I just sort of gauge an understanding. I also go on, it's called Endole, before I have a chat with someone and understand their finances and stuff like that. Understand on the call how much the system will potentially help them. And sometimes I just create the price like that. It's been sold for much more. When I first started, it was getting sold for much less. But you can see, if you are starting out, this is certainly a price mark you should be aiming for.
That's all.
No less. Is it better than you're expecting? A lot. I'd imagine it probably was, just because if you can imagine the system and what it does, and the potential of return on investment, ROI, there for you to keep and run for as long as you want.
Props, like whether it does go through Perplexity, right? And it like filters the ICP and everything. So like if I ever want to, because I'm chasing different ICP, I'm testing a crazy number of ICPs. I'm doing investment companies, real estate, B2B SaaS. I'm testing them all. So would you show me how to like go into the back end and change it so that it would adjust?
Yeah, but the thing is with Perplexity, that's not what we'd do. Is we'd put the lead dynamically into Perplexity. So every lead would dynamically go in there. All we give it is name, title, company, location, so it knows the exact company that it's searching for. Yeah. And then we do the industry check. We go, okay, Perplexity, give me the industry. AI will then do another check to say, is what you've put in, you want to reach out to construction, for example. You want to reach out, you've put that into the app. Does the output from Perplexity match what Johnny put into the app? If it doesn't, it won't carry on. If it does, if it's a construction company and you want to reach, does this make sense? Construction people, then it will carry on through the flow.
Because the way I was doing it in GPT for Sheets is I would like say...
Everyone uses GPT for Sheets. It's cheap, but it's just long.
It was so hard to prompt this. I don't know how the heck you got around this, because it still didn't work.
And everyone does the same prompting. 2 secs. Yeah.
I still end up with a bunch of software companies. I said, is this either a SaaS company or a software development company? And
alright, so pretty much this just got closed. You're right into your business for you to own, keep, drive for as long as you want.
Yeah, fair play. And payment, is that through Stripe?
Yeah, we can do Stripe.
Yeah, okay, great. So I can charge it through the credit card and make this one.
Closed.
Yeah.
And if you need any more information or anything, you have any questions, drop me an email. I'm always on the email, just like every single CEO is. That's why it's such a good avenue for, as long as you're landing in the inbox, like we've said, because CEOs are checking it 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. It's the only platform that they are.
True.
Cold email is great.
Yeah. No, this is great, honestly. And you know what it means? I don't have to explain stuff as well. Because the only thing is, like, when I've tried working with other developers, whatever CRM you're using, make sure you put a tag to follow up with me until I close.
So what, tomorrow or when? Just so we're not chasing each other. Give me a time frame.
Thinking Thursday, because tomorrow's a half day. So Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
If I haven't sent you an email by then yeah.
I'll drop you a line. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you in the meantime? Can you send me like a contract of like deliverables? I don't know how you.
Absolutely. Cool. So that's how I turned a cold lead into a paying £3,500 client, or $4,500. If you want to start closing more higher ticket clients, then subscribe now, because I'm going to be dropping videos like this more often. Give it a like, drop me a comment to see what you do differently, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.